Today I'm heading over to Daniel Island, South Carolina. There are 3 cemeteries there that I want to go check out. This first one, Alston Cemetery, seems to be right on the road in a residential area, so I'm not sure where I'm going to be able to park for that one, but maybe it has its own little parking lot. We'll see. And then there's one over here, kind of behind Credit One Stadium, that I can't see from the street. It looks like it's going to be down a trail, or hopefully I can get to it because I don't know if you can just stroll around the stadium. Um, Hopefully they don't have anything going on today. And then there's another one over here that is in like a wooded area back here. I'm not sure again where I'm going to park to go see that one, but hopefully I can find some place to make my way over to it. And of course, I hope they're open. There's no street view, so hopefully I won't get all the way there and walk and it's all locked up. But let's go. So I'm at the first one, the Alston Cemetery. This one was the easiest to get to. It's right on off a road. There's no parking areas, so I'm just kind of parked on the side of the road, and I hope that's okay. I drove up and down the street and didn't see anywhere like an area to park. So here's some information about this one. It looks like it was once attached to Ralston Plantation, which was located on this site in the 1820s. There's about 25 or 30 people buried here from 1898 to 1958. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can read that if you'd like to. And then this gate wasn't open when I got here. I pushed it open a little bit, and then I realized I wasn't recording. So, alright, so going this gate is very heavy. Whew. Alright. Look at it. There's a lot of sunken ground, whether that's because we're on a marsh or on an island or a combination of those things. I don't know. We've got Adolphus McCall, 1914. It looks like a newer stone. I would think if they're from the 1800s and they look like that, they're probably not the original. Or I would say definitely. I think we can confidently say that the original stones wouldn't look like that. They're kind of scattered around. It's hard to know where to step, and I'm going to fall in one of these sinkholes. I'm not counting these as I go. It said 25 to 30, so they might not all still have markers. Most of these markers don't look super duper old. Some do. That doesn't really, but makes me think they're not the originals. But I would have to look into how this place was preserved. Like, was it lost and then found, or just, what happened? That looks like it was carved by hand, don't you think? The way the lettering is. That's Susie Drayton. That one's completely falling in. Okay. don't know if this goes all the way to the edge or not. Let's find out. I don't see. I don't see any more stones. It's like a bench out here, it looks like. But, you know, just because there's no stones doesn't mean there's no folks laid to rest here. I think we all learned that from, what movie was it? Poltergeist? The original one? A long, long time ago. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's the water right there. More what I would consider mansions. You know, they're pretty freaking big houses out here. With boat ramps and such. But this is not a real estate blog. Alright, so here's a bench. I don't think there's anything inscribed on it. Is there? Yeah, this palm tree. No. No. Look at that house. Massive. Alright, we've got some clothes. Okay. Just gonna keep it moving. I don't see any more stones. And I'm surprised I haven't tripped over one. So I don't know if you can tell on video, there's some deep depressions in the land that could be the size of graves. And I don't know if it's sinking in grave areas or not. Would that be a thing? As much as I like to hang out in cemeteries, I really don't know these specifics. So many questions come up that I don't know the answers to. I'm just gonna walk around those. It's very quiet out here, unlike a lot of the cemeteries and graveyards I visit around Charleston. There's not traffic zooming by. It's kind of peaceful. Yeah, okay, so it said 25 to 30 people. Let's count the stones. Ooh, without falling over and busting my ass, if that's possible. Land is not level at all. Oh, okay, so I see. Well, there are some footstones that I don't know if there's a headstone for them. There's one for that one. So, assuming those are footstones, just gonna make that assumption. I'm gonna count the headstones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that one or is that a footstone? I'm going to call that a footstone since it's that distance from the headstone. So we're 8. Is that 9? 10. 11. 12, 13. So I count 13. Nowhere near the 25 to 30 estimate. Not calling the sign a liar. Just saying there's definitely not a stone for every person. So we can call this 14. Why not? cool one. See if there's any others. Is that? I walked right past that. Was that a stone or is that? Oops. Piece of tree. Something crashing around behind me. Alligator or something. Oh, it looks like a tree root. Okay. I think we have seen all we can see here. Unfortunately. So I guess I'll head on to the next one. The other two, they're not, it doesn't seem on a street, at least on Google Earth. Doesn't seem a way to get to them from the street. They're kind of on walking paths. One looks like it's across some water, and the other one I'm not even sure if I can get to at all. So yeah, those deep depressions are right where the graves would be. So maybe I should be counting every deep depression like that in the land as a grave. Okay, so now I am looking for Simmons Cemetery, and it seemed to be across this bridge. There was no Google Earth path like that I could figure out what road to go down. There was a small, what do they call it? A sphere? I forgot what it's called, but somebody takes a picture and uploads it to Google Earth that I could see. So I parked at Barfield Park. Once again, I'm parked on the street because there's no little parking lot here. And there's people walking on the trail. There's like a little nature trail. So, a little gazebo, which I can't imagine you'd have too big of an event here unless you all walked from your houses because, again, there's no parking lot. And up here's a bridge to walk across. I really hate parking on the side of the road, even though other people are parked on the side of the road. I don't know. I'd rather have a parking lot. But there's not even anywhere near that I could park and walk here from there. It's all housing, you know, so. And I don't have any friends that live on the island. I need to make some island friends. Do you live on Daniel Island? Would you like to be my friend? So I can park in your driveway. All right, so we've got another informational sign here. Oh, there we have. Man, you know, I'd know this if I wasn't recording. A river of some kind. There's a shipping boat. A boat with shipping containers. You would think I just moved to Charleston like yesterday, but no. Been here over 20 years. Ravens Creek. All right. Was named after the landowner, John Raven, who was granted title to this piece of property in 1737. Okay. Industrial activities. Goods and supplies. Simmons Rice Mill. Rough water mill used to pound rice. So that's where we are. Ruins of Danielle Settlement. Ooh, I like some ruins. Where am I? I am where? I would love to see some ruins. But I don't know. It's not what I came for today for this video, but I love ruins and abandoned places as well, so if we come across them. I'll just have my camera out this way because there's somebody jogging with their doggy. All right. All right, so like I said, we've got a walk here. God, she's coming back this way again. Maybe she really wants to be in my video. Or she's just doing her daily thing and I'm the one in the way. I think that's the more likely case. Sorry. It's about 75 degrees out. Not too muggy. It's kind of nice out, actually, before it gets swampy, swamp-ass hot here. All right, we have a trail. I'm just kind of winging it. From what I could see on Google Earth, it was back here somewhere. I'm hoping there'll be a sign of some kind, so I'm not just wandering around. But I don't know. I'm gonna go the opposite way. She just looked back at me like I might be a serial killer, so I'm gonna turn the other way. Go down this path. I guess we have video record if I don't make it back. You know, I navigated, of course I was younger, 15 or so years ago when I went to Paris. I don't even speak French, and I navigated their subway map way better than I do my own local area. Oh man, I'm gonna call it getting old and way more tired than I was back then. Oh, now this one's wide open. It's inviting me in. Looky here. And we have the Simmons Cemetery. Zoom out so you can read that. All right, African American burial ground that has served as a resting place for generations. Believe that the cemetery's name comes from its association with plantation owner Maurice Simmons, who owned the land prior to the Civil War. Prior. Local residents started calling this burial ground the Village Cemetery in the 1900s. Approximately 65 to 70 individuals are interred here, and grave markers from 1905 to 1973 still survive. All right, so let's read this. It's the final resting place of Private David Sparkman, an African-American soldier who fought for the Union as part of the 33rd Regiment. And these men were two of the approximately 179,000 black men who served in the U.S. Army and 19,000 who would serve in the Navy during the Civil War. John Bellinger, soldier in the black 371st Infantry Regiment, who fought alongside the French in the Verdun area during World War I, is also buried here. So that's cool. And we have more pictures of things that are not even in South Carolina. We have a picture in Paris, which is weird that I was just talking about Paris. Soldiers arriving in France. And unidentified veterans of this regiment. St. Augustine history. And another QR code. The previous one led to a site about Daniel Island history. I imagine that does the same, just a different page. I saved that and so that I can add more info if I'm able to find any about the area. All right, this one's pretty big. And what did it say? 65 to 70 folks are buried here. Ooh, tripping over. Oh, that's me. It won't be a video of mine without me tripping over a tree root. Listen, if you ever watch one of my videos and I don't trip over a tree root or a branch, it's not me. I've been taken over by an imposter who actually has grace and balance. But you know what I can't remember? The guys' names that I just read. Like I said, I moved here a little over 20 years ago. I have a military family, and my dad retired here. But I mean, I guess I'm from here now. I lived all over the place growing up. But my family is from Michigan. And my great, whatever, how many greats, uncles, grandpas did fight in the Civil War on the Union side. And I just wonder if they could communicate with the modern day. Oh, look, there's that fella. Remember that name? They'd be probably very confused by why I lived in the South. It's okay, great uncle, grandpas. I'm not sure either. I'm just here, and I try to make the most of anywhere I live, and there's a lot of history here, so. And I like history, good thing. Now these could be original tombstones. The marble for 1950s. That seems very accurate. There's the name Drayton again. We saw Drayton's in the previous cemetery. And there is a Drayton Hall that was a plantation, I believe. They probably have a cemetery. I don't want to have to pay to go into the plantation tourist area just to see the cemetery, but maybe one of these days. What's that name? Is that R-E-G-E-R? R-E-C-E-R? Reeser? Evelina Gilliard Robinson. Gilliard is a name you'll see a lot here. There's a Gilliard Performing Arts, I believe it is, center. They have events there, shows, you know. I went to see last podcast on the left there 2 years ago maybe. I don't know. We all had to show our vaccine cards and wear masks. So it was within the past 3 years, probably more like 2 years ago. I don't know if anybody's required that in the past year. Whether they should or not, I don't know. I protect myself the best I can, since I do get sick very, very easily. But yeah, it's a common name here. There aren't really any too fascinating tombstones here. And they're generally not as old and, you know, decorative as I like to see. But then again, we're going to see those downtown way more than we are here. Oh, a deer. Do you see it leaping? It's great. Look at it go. That's crazy. There she goes. Sorry, I don't see a lot of deer where I live. I don't live. Not this much land around me, so that was neat. Sorry if you see deer all the time. Okay, then we got Benjamin Bellinger. Died young, 49 years. Got another Bellinger. Oh wait, I think this is the same guy, only this is an older stone. March 13th, 1927, age 49. Let's see. Yeah. They must have just replaced it. It's like it was, I think the last cemetery graveyard I went to, there was a stone that had the same guy, 2 stones that had the same guy on it, but neither one were broken. So I don't know what the deal was with that one. Okay, again, said 65 to 70 people. I'm not going to count them this time, but I feel like there's some stones missing. Again, we have the depressions in the earth in front of where we know folks are buried, and in other areas where there's no stone. So I'm sinking. I am sinking, kind of. I'm thinking there are coffins there. They just don't have the stones anymore. And I think we got all of these. We got a marker here. It does not have a stone. Can we get these people some stones, please? And see, that other place could have had, could have had one of these over every place, so you know where to walk. Even if they don't know who's buried there. They must have did some digging in the first place to figure out that there were people there. So they could have put approximate age, approximate year of burial. Oh yeah, we looked at these already, didn't we? Oh, all right, so that is the Simmons Cemetery. And then the other one, the last one, I don't know. It's called the Grove Cemetery, but where it shows it on Google Earth, it's another, gotta walk down a path. It looks like it's kind of behind the Credit One Stadium, which is where they have like concerts and stuff. We saw Elton John there last year. It's an open air stadium. And it looks like it's kind of back behind that. So I don't even know how I'm gonna get back there. I'll try to research that before I get there. First I'm gonna go, I'm thirsty and I need to use the restroom. So I'm going to pop over to the gas station. So there's more people on the trail now, and I just got over the bridge to get back to my car. And this guy is just power walking over the bridge in like a business outfit. He's got, you know, the nice checkered shirt all buttoned up and the belt and the shirt tucked into his dress pants and, you know, work dress shoes, office attire, office manager attire. And I just thought that was funny because, yeah, it's a nature trail where people walk, but and it's not super hot. It's like 75, but still, you wouldn't think you'd want to go on a power walk in the sun in your business attire. But hey, takes all kinds, right? I just wanted to, my car's still here. So, moving on. All right, this time I was able to park in a little business shopping center. So I feel a little better about leaving my car there. And I think I know where I'm going. I tried to line it up on Google Earth as far as where this fountain was, the orientation of this apartment building. And I'm kind of looking for a sign that might say Daniel Island Commemorative Park, because there should be a trail that will take me right to where I want to go. We'll find out. And I parked at like around 209 7 Farms Drive, if you want to come out here. And looky there, Daniel Island Commemorative Park. That's what I'm looking for. Fantastic. I did it. Hopefully. Okay. All right. And we've got a marker here. A very lethargic little fountain. Right? Oh boy, we have a bunch of markers up here. What is this? Okay. Daniel Island Veteran Memorial. Okay. We saw that fellow's name at Simmons. I'm not aware of that cemetery. That might be private. We went to Grove Cemetery today. Another Simmons. Another Simmons. And then we have a Simmons buried in Grove. And Grove and Simmons. So the only one that I haven't seen on the map would be the Lesesne Family Cemetery. So I'll have to look that up. That one might be a private one that we can't go to unless I make friends with the family. So we'll see. Okay. Lovely. Is it locked? Doesn't look like it. We got an information board. Let's check that out. Grove Cemetery sits on land that was once part of the Lesesne Plantation. I think that's been the case for all of them. The name of the land was changed to Grove Plantation sometime between 1840 and 1859. Up to 50 buried here. Many of these graves not marked with traditional headstones. Typical burial sites are identified by grave depressions and mound graves. Wasn't I just thinking that in the previous ones? I guess I was right. Once in a while. Alright, simple wooden headstones were often used. Grave sites would be marked with traditional African American goods such as dishes, shells, plants, iron pipes, and personal items. In Gullah culture, it is believed a spirit cannot rest if something they desired has been left behind. It's a custom of satisfying the spirit with worldly possessions can be traced to African origins. Grove Cemetery is the resting place for some of the relatives of late Philip Simmons, a renowned master blacksmith who was born on Daniel Island in 1912. Alright, so this is a photo of a grave with various domestic items. I don't know if it's here. It doesn't say. It could be here. Again, with this one, African American burial enclosed in seashells. Alright, let's enter. It's a good sound. Plenty of tree roots for me to trip over in here. Looks like there's a little stone over here or a tree stump. That's a tree stump. You gotta watch out for those ground depressions now that my thoughts have been confirmed on that. Problem is the land is so hilly and up and down. It's hard to tell sometimes. Little bench. Yeah, I don't know if that's the same bridge that I walked over earlier or not. Maybe. American one. Okay, what's this one say? Not entirely sure that first name, Shaw. 1875, 1927. Hannah Shaw. This is I believe a child. It doesn't have a date of birth, but at the bottom it did say something years. Or I'm sure it still does say that. It's just kind of pushed down, sank in. Birdie. Lula Williams. Born in New York, 1927. Died 1935. So a young person. 8 years old. It's a footstone or a gravestone, a headstone, hard to tell. Don't see anything on it. Henry Simmons, Harry Simmons, William Simmons, another William Simmons, a different one or same one, different one. Oh, we got some depressions in the ground. Edward Burns. Somebody's over here, unless that's just a very large footstone. Eva Simmons. Who's here? Oh, I don't know. It could be a footstone then, but oh, this looks like it has writing on it. Oh no, it's just initials. Footstone for E.S. Eva Simmons. And whoever is here, if that is a footstone, he's a very tall individual. Mr. Henry Simmons. Okay. We have just a metal plate here. Rosa Burns. I don't know if there's anybody way out here. Depression here. There's a lot of depressions. Like I said, I hope they are picking up on video, but you can see there's a lot of depressions in the earth that don't have stones. Nancy Mitchell. Okay, there's a one over here lying down. There's writing on it, there is, but I can't. It almost looks like it was scratched in, and I can't tell what it was supposed to say at all. Maybe it came from this depression in the dirt. this is an interesting one. We have some stuff that got knocked over. Candle got knocked over. I don't want to set it. I have an urge to set it upright, but I don't want to mess with anything. A little jar. A little jar with a lid. And some symbolism. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name because I will mess it up. This is a recent one too. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful memorial for this person. I think that's the most recent one I've seen today. 2020. I don't really see any other stones. Pretty sure we got that one over there. Yeah, because that's where that one had fallen over. Little marker here. Coleman. Lucille Coleman. Alright, I think that's all the stones we can see in here. So I'm quite happy that I was able to get to all 3 cemeteries. Did a lot of exercising. Made my goal of visiting all of them. And I guess that's it for today. I like these trees. Looks like maybe little Keebler elves live in them. Oh, there's people walking. Get out of here. Just kidding. Oh, there's pieces of a stone though. The shells in it. Alright. I just found this pot that somebody has broken. It says, "Do not touch Oya Shrine," installed by Dr. I'm not going to mess up their name. And it looks like either somebody did touch it or nature, wind, broke it. But that's interesting. Look at this wall with the shells mixed in with the concrete. Okay, away I go.